Hey, what's up everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. After I posted the video how to do your masters in Europe, one of the most frequent questions which I got was how about GMAT? Now I completely understand that because when I prepared for my GMAT, I was a working professional. I was working as a consultant and traveling a lot, and it was not that easy to just find time to prepare for your GMAT. I followed a very simple 3-month strategy, and this is what I'm here to share with you. By the way, as a quick side note for the ambition level of the score that you're aiming for, it doesn't make too much sense to aim for something like 750 to 800 because that's not the only thing that goes into your selection. Somewhere in the range or very close to 700 is quite good to get into a very good business school because GMAT is only one of the things that matter and not the only thing. Now getting back to it. Now, as I mentioned, it's a 3-month strategy and this is divided into 3 phases. Phase number 1 is about GMAT guide, which is the baseline. Phase number 2 is about online lessons, and phase number 3 is about giving as many tests as possible. So let's get started with phase number 1. Now, phase number 1 is about GMAT Guide. GMAT Guide is this yearly book which is published by the creators of the test themselves and contains verbal and con questions which are retired from the test. That means you get to practice the questions which were actually asked in the exams in the years before. Also, what is included, and it's actually quite nice, are 2 full-length simulated tests so that you get a good understanding of how the look and feel of the interface is. And overall, it's a good book to start with just because you're just understanding how to walk. So you just cannot sprint right away. You just have to learn to walk first. Now, as soon as you get the guide, which I think is available on Amazon for 35 euros, give the first simulated test. The idea is not to dishearten yourself. The idea is that you get a very good baseline understanding of yourself. After you're given the first test, now the first month you should do all the questions in the book which are about verbal and cons. Take the book everywhere that you go. Literally, if you're traveling, you're in train, you're in aircraft, wherever you get time, try to do as many questions as possible. This is how the first month is gonna look like. Now, phase number 2 is about online courses. So I signed up for this website. It's called magoosh.com. And it's an online platform, essentially an online learning platform where the GMAT resources, in my personal opinion, are quite good. So just a disclaimer, they're not sponsoring me or anything. It just worked for me and hopefully it also works for you. Now, why Magoosh or platforms like these are quite good? Because they're very flexible. You get great online support. That means you can email your questions and they would come back with the answers. And there is a big community behind it. So there are blogs and there are forums that you can ask your questions and also see how people are going about it. So I would generally, during the week when I'm traveling or when I'm working, I would just keep on following the video lessons based on what I want to do or what I want to learn. And on the weekends, give the tests which are included. So on Saturday, give the test, and on Sunday, analyze where the mistakes were. So that during the week, you know exactly which lessons you have to learn and how you want to approach it. By the way, on a side note, doing this analysis in the test is quite important, and generally the rule should be 2 times more. So if you're giving a test which is a 4 hours duration, try to analyze it for around 8 hours so that you know exactly what you need to improve on. Now, the last phase, which is the phase number 3, it's all about testing. That means try to give as many tests as possible. I signed up for this great website, it's manhattan.com. They also make books, but the books really did not work for me. I just think like the content was a little bit too overrated, but the tests were actually quite good. And I would give as many tests as possible in the last month so that you are closing all the gaps. I maybe took it to a bit extreme and I was giving the test exactly in the time slot that I booked my actual exam. So I had booked the slot from 9 to 1 and every single test that I gave in the preparation was also during this time. And why is that? So that you train your body clock to prepare and perform for it. Once you're done giving the test and you've analyzed the score, track the score in a very simple spreadsheet and then get back to the questions that you didn't understand or you made a mistake in. One great way of doing it is probably going to a blog like gmatclub.com. That was very good for me, and giving the test in exact test conditions. So if you kind of follow these 3 phases quite diligently, I think it should not be a big issue to get a very good score on your GMAT. Hope that this video added value to you, and if you find this helpful, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you would like to keep updated with the content, and hope to see you on the next one. Peace.